Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you the day after Arsenal's 2-0 victory at Leicester in the Carabao Cup. Pretty comfortable victory in the end for Arsenal. I discussed that last night in my video I posted after the game from the King Power Stadium, talking about my player ratings. Arsenal certainly deserving of that victory, and I'll just go over it a little bit again in this video and also talk about plenty of other stuff that's going on at Arsenal right now. But first of all, as always, a big thank you to everyone for your support on this channel, for watching, for subscribing. I do really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the nice comments about the new intro. It seems like that's gone down very well and I'm very glad to see that. Big shout out to my friend, close mate of mine, have been since I've been about 3 foot tall, Tom Jenkinson, extremely talented man who put together that intro for me. You can find his details down below in the description. Got his website there and his email address as well. If you ever need anything like that, doing any sort of production work, he is your man. Top fella as well, even though he's a Blackpool fan. So yeah, thank you very much for Tom, and like I said, find his details down in the description below if you ever need anything. So let's quickly talk about Leicester. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I did discuss it last night quickly, but it was a good, decent performance all round. What I wanted to speak about really was a couple of performances. Nicolas Pepe was his first start, obviously, for Pepe this season, being on the bench a couple of times behind Willian. Think he'll probably be on the bench again on Monday night when Arsenal travel to Liverpool. But just looking at Pepe's performance, I thought it was pretty decent. The first half, it was understandably a little bit rusty. He hasn't played for a while, hasn't started for a while. Had a couple of good moments, going one really good position on his right foot where he should have taken the shot on, whether it's a confidence thing or not. We know it's his weaker foot, but he really should have taken that shot on. Didn't cut inside and the chance had gone. But fair play to him. I thought he recovered pretty well from that, because I bet that probably knocked his confidence a little bit. But he had a good second half, played a key part in the first goal. And it's a big season for Nicolas Pepe. I wrote something about it in the aftermath of last night's game. It's posted on goal.com at the moment. I'll also put that in the description down below. It's also on my social media at Charles_Watts. Please do have a look at that. Tell me what you think. Leave it comments below about what you think of that piece and what you think about Nicolas Pepe's performance, because a big season for Nicolas Pepe. Obviously has Willian here now to give extra competition on that right hand side. Willian started the first 2 games. I think he'll probably start at Liverpool as well. So Pepe's got to really sort of step up this season. That's what the piece was about, really. You know, I thought it was promising signs from Pepe last season, but now's the time he really needs to take his game up to another level. First start last night. Can't judge him too much on that, given he hasn't played much football. But I think Pepe, it's a big season for Pepe now. He's got to start justifying that price tag. I know everyone doesn't like focusing on that price tag, but it's impossible not to talk about it when Nicolas Pepe is around, because 72 million is a massive amount of money, and you want to really see him step on now and start showing exactly why Arsenal invested so heavily in Pepe. Mikel Arteta, we pressed him pretty hard yesterday. I've had a few comments on social media saying, why are you asking him about Mesut Ozil in the press conference? It's boring. But you may think that, but there's also a hell of a lot more people, I have to say, who are demanding to know what's going on with Mesut Ozil. And look, I'm pretty bored by the whole Ozil saga as well. I didn't really want to push Arteta on it last night, but the fact he's not playing even in the Carabao Cup, I think he had to have some questions on it again last night. Because if he's not going to play last night, then let's face it, he's not going to play at all. And you're basically going to be playing Mesut Ozil £20 million to sit on his backside all year, basically, on a match day and not only train. So I felt like the questions were justified on Ozil last night. Arteta was quite interested in it. He went a little bit further than he normally does. Normally just talks about the sort of performances in training, but yesterday he says the team is evolving. You know, basically saying the team's evolving without Ozil, and that's why he's not featuring at the moment, which fair play. You know, I'm certainly not having a go at him for not playing Mesut Ozil, and you look at results, Arsenal are winning games, so it's working. They've won 2 trophies in the last six weeks or so. So it's certainly working, but I do feel that the questions were justified about Mesut Ozil last night. And if you haven't seen yet or seen Arteta's response about it, then again, head over to goal.com and you'll find exactly what Mikel Arteta had to say about Mesut Ozil. We also asked him about Lucas Torreira after the game yesterday. He wasn't involved last night, hasn't been involved all season. I asked Mikel, said, look, is the reason he's not involved because he's very close to a transfer now? We know all about Atletico Madrid, Torino as well, who are interested. And Arteta wouldn't say much. He never talks about transfers or players or anything like that. He said his team selection isn't to do with what might or might not be happening off the pitch, and then refused to comment on internal matters. But look, Lucas Torreira is very close to an Arsenal exit. Arsenal and Atletico are understood to be talking. It seems like one of the issues at the moment, Atletico need to move someone on before they can bring Torreira in. It's looking like it's going to be a loan for Lucas Torreira with an option included in that to buy at the end of the season. Obviously, it's Atletico Madrid, so everyone's putting two and two together saying Arsenal surely get Thomas Partey out of the deal. It would make sense, but from all accounts at the moment, that is not really how this deal is operating, and it's not making any difference in terms of Atletico's stance on Thomas Partey. Their stance is still pay his release clause. Now, Arsenal have 12 days to go in the transfer window now to decide what they're going to do about their key targets, which is Thomas Partey and Houssem Aouar. I've said all along, I still don't think they're going to get the two of them. I think that's beyond. I mean, that would be an amazing thing to get both of those players in, given an investment it will cost. I still think you're looking more likely one of them could come in. And I still think Thomas Partey is a more likely one, just because at this stage, Arsenal know what they have to do to get Thomas Partey. There's no mucking around. They know what they have to do. It's just about being able to get the things together in the first place so they can go and pay that £44 million release clause that will get Thomas Partey. From my understanding, in terms of the Thomas Partey side of things, nothing's changed. He's still just very much waiting to see what happens. He's happy Atletico. He's not going to try and force his way out of the club, but he is very open to move into Arsenal. He's waiting, staying calm about the situation, and seeing what's going to happen in the next 12 days or so. I mean, it's an intriguing 12 days. I know just from your comments, from everything that happens on social media, from all of the spamming that's going on every Arsenal journalist, every Arsenal tweet. We know how desperate you are for Arsenal to sign at least one of Partey and Houssem Aouar. Whether they're going to manage to get it done, we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, it's going to be an intriguing 12 days. A lot of it depends on what happens. It has done throughout and who goes out. Look, Torreira, that is certainly close. I expect something's going to happen with Lucas before now and the transfer window closing. Socrates as well is another one who could well be heading out the door before the window closes, but we've got to wait and see. Napoli know what, there's been talks with Napoli, but Napoli will wait and see if Koulibaly leaves or not. You've got Mustafi who, as well, has been the attention of interest from some clubs in Italy. Sead Kolasinac as well, but the thing with Kolasinac is he's actually playing a lot of football. I mean, he's starting all the games. I don't think he'll start on Monday night at Liverpool, but he started again last night, so Arteta is using him. So he still sees him as a valuable member of his squad. So it's perhaps not one that Arteta is absolutely desperate to get out the door, but I still think if a decent offer came in for Kolasinac, then that's something Arsenal would be open to. And Reiss Nelson as well, as I've been saying for a fair while now, the loan option for Reiss Nelson is certainly one that could happen before the end of the window. He played well last night, Reiss Nelson, unlucky not to score a goal, really good goal in the first half, and the keeper made a save. But he just needs to be playing, Reiss Nelson. When you've got Pepe and Willian in front of you, you're not going to get that many opportunities. So I think for everyone involved, it'd be more useful if Reiss Nelson heads out on loan. So that's one to keep an eye on. I think the way Arsenal operate with loans is it's a very complicated process. They don't want to just send them out to anyone. So they're going to invite offers in, see who's interested in Nelson. They're going to whittle that down to around 3 clubs. They'll invite those 3 clubs into London Colney, and then they'll all sit down almost like an apprentice-style interview and tell Arsenal their vision for Reiss Nelson, what they plan to do with him for a year, how they're going to use him, how they can develop him. And then Arsenal and Nelson will sit down and decide which club he's going to go to. That's the process Arsenal use when they let Eddie Nketiah go to Leeds. And it's a process they've used a lot now since Ben Napper has come in. He's the loan manager at Arsenal, and they're very, very stringent in terms of where they send their players to. They've been burnt in the past with some loan deals. You look at Serge Gnabry when he went to West Brom, disaster. Pretty much put the death knell in his time at Arsenal, that one. They don't want things to happen again now, so they're really, really stringent in where they send their players out on loans. And Reiss Nelson will be another one who goes through that process before a decision is made in the next 12 days or so. Mikel Arteta press conference tomorrow ahead of the game against Liverpool on Monday night, so that's our next opportunity to speak to Mikel and get his take on where things stands in the transfer window and team news update as well, that sort of thing. As usual, I'll try and bring you a video after that press conference, giving you an update on what was said and discussing the team news and looking at who could be starting up at Anfield on Monday night. If Liverpool would beat Lincoln tonight in the Cup, it's going to be 2 trips to Anfield for Arsenal next week. First in the Premier League on Monday, and then in the Carabao Cup 4th round on Thursday night. 2 daunting trips, but got to do it. And we'll see how that goes, because we all know what Arsenal's record in Anfield has been like in the last 8 years or so. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you, as usual, for all the support. And yeah, like I said at the beginning, please do head down, check out in the description. If you've got any production needs or anything like that, then head over to Tom Jenkinson. The guy sorted my intro, really talented chap, and he will sort you out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it all, and I'll be back soon to speak to you again.